No.
About how it takes so long going down. The roots go down for so long, and then in about a year it just shoots. But for the initial couple of years, it just is. It looks like nothing is happening.
Yeah.
Then a particular year fikas alafu ina shoot. So I guess we have different experiences. You may have success faster than I do in some areas, and vice versa. But it's just the cards that we've been dealt. But if you hang around long enough, you'll see success.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect analogy of life, because most of the things that happen they are boring. You know, like change is not that if you observe, even if you have a plant or even a kid, like things tend to take slowly take shape, and then one day you just wake up and then your kid is like utembeaing, ama they are talking, ama your plant now is sprouting. But I feel like life happens during those mundane, repetitive times when it's just quiet and boring, and just seems like it's just eat, work, sleep, repeat, and then one day you just wake up and you are in a it's the same with the gym. When I started going to the gym, you guys to pump iron for like 30 minutes and go to the mirror immediately and start looking for my deltoids. But you guys, they were not there, you guys. I was wondering, what am I doing in the gym? Deltoid. Deltoid ni hizi hapa.
Oh, okay, over here on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm glad we hata ujui pia.
You get me
the way you're kubaling.
Me, I'm normally very honest.
Check, deltoid ni, okay, nice.
Oh, see hapo.
Probably, I think maybe a part of this other side, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you don't know, you guys?
Yeah, maybe. Mimi nainua tu chuma, mambo ya kunini. Mimi kwani ndani ya after umepiga gym unakuja unapigwa na cut. Cheki eka chuma chini, haya sawa, haya. Here is the human body. Can you name this muscle, kijana?
No, I remember when I was going to the gym, I used to walk around our house with a vest.
Yeah.
It's really intimidate my older bro. But you're right. Ni hapo kwa shoulder. It's around the shoulder. Nimeangalia pale online.
Nishuku kwa nini?
No, I don't know if you're joking or you're serious. I have to confirm for my own sake.
Yeah, it comes to the gym, I'm serious. But what I'm saying is that, I used to do that a lot, you know, or you go and run, or even you work out for a week and then you expect to knee. But now when I put that mindset apart, you know, I was like, you know what, like, let me just do it and not check. Like even weight, like you go and you work out, you eat well 1 week and then you want to see it changes. But once you stop looking at the outcome every day, after a long period of time, now you start noticing these are two small changes, they add up.
Speaking of weight, I've really cutted, you guys. You know, at the beginning of the year, I was 69 kilos.
Yeah,
you guys,
that's a very freaky weight.
Now I'm 64.
Okay.
You guys, 5 kilos, you guys.
You guys. You can't afford to lose 5 kg. What are you doing?
No, but when I was at 69/70, my stomach feels and looks very distended.
Yeah.
You know those guys who are wearing a t-shirt, they look small, but now when they're wearing a t-shirt, tumbo sijui nakaje.
They have that, it's like a letter B.
Yeah. That's the way I normally look. So I started eating 1 meal a day, lakini I think imenipeleka sana. My trousers are not fitting me. My guys are saying I'm emaciated.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to regain nione kama ntarudi.
Sijali.
Ama you guy maisha ntaya sukuma.
I think uko sawa. Nikianza kuona hii boni ya shingo hapa, I think now I'll raise an alarm. I think I'll start force feeding you hapa boiled eggs. Nikianza kuona unajua hii ni. Remember when we were a kid, we used to do that. We used to pima poverty like this.
Yeah.
Remember that thing?
Yeah. You hold someone's wrist.
Then ile space umebaki ni, that's how hard they need to work.
Mbona mtu akikata though, guys get worried?
Yeah.
In Africa especially. See, being lean is a good thing.
No.
Huh?
You guys, it's the opposite. In the US, if you are overweight, if you're obese,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But here, man, it just means that you might have access to the CDF.
Or being kunona.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an interesting
thing. It means
thing.
You're cooling polite.
You guys, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what to do. But welcome back to this hour of the show. This is the Wind Down. The station is Radio Generation. My name is Manuel Kisingani.
And I'm Bashir Halaiki.
Together with you, we make this amazing team called the Wind Down Gang. And shout out to everyone who's been reposting our posts. I'm seeing Kapi over there. I'm seeing Glow. So many people are over here on our timeline, reposting, sharing, and doing all manner of good things. I'm seeing Winnie Maganga. The team from right here at Radio Generation are so so kind. They take time and just, interact with the product, as well as you, because you are part of us. Right now, we are straight into our open mic hour, and that's the time when we have uninterrupted conversation, podcast style, without any music and any other interruption. It is just Bashir, you, and I. So we're just going to jump on it. Today, as I announced earlier, we're going to do the breakdown. Which is a breakdown of recent events that have been happening, and we discuss them our own wind down style. And just to open the floor, Bashir, unasema kuna mambroti zinauzwa pale on the moon.
Yeah.
Na hii ni true story.
Hii ni true story, man. Me, unajua, the one thing about me is when it comes to opportunities to make money. Think about it, man. Instead of buying land here on earth, sijui hatunanunua shamba, sijui Kamulu, Joska, forget about that nonsense.
Matu.
Just imagine, me, I'm here on this particular website. I'm scrolling on the moon. So I'm actually here. I'm looking at one of the craters. So this crater, Maze, it's called Lake of Dreams.
Okay.
It's called Lacos Simonirium. I can't even pronounce. That's how you know it's for rich people, yeah? So for about $250, I can nab myself, Maze, that particular crater.
What's the size of this shambas? Because I'm saying there's a website Bashir shared with me. Where these shambas kwa moon zina distributiwa. Naona hapa kuna moja imeandikwa sijui 200 and no, kuna moja hata $30. You unaweza pata mroti on the moon for $30.
So hiyo $30 unapata ka sublet. So mina nachukua hiyo nachukua hiyo kreta yote. So for $30 mina kukatia an eighth kwa hiyo shamba yangu, hiyo ni Lake of Dreams. Bona check.
Unanikatia?
Si ndio nakuwekea an eighth yako for $30.
Okay.
But let me tell you, unacheka saizi, but you guy in 1 million years you guy will be, tutakuwa mbele sana. It might not be us, but our great grand children, you guys will be mafutani mbaya,
But there's something written here on this website which I think is mbadala. There's somebody who's saying pricing is set at $35 per acre through 23rd August 2025 for customers in India only. You guys don't think this is a scam yake yote? Who is selling and how have they got an authority to sell the land on the moon? Ama ni hiyo story ya venye Africa was divided during the Great Divide, when they went to divide
the
Africa.
Partition and
in the late 1800s.
The scramble and partition
of Africa. So they went without our knowledge. You guys, my ancestors were chilling up in Luandeti. And then these guys go to some room in the UK and they just divide our country. You get what I'm saying? So maybe this is what you're saying. Like, guys, sit down, because imagination is strong. You know that story in the Bible of those guys who are jengaing the Tower of Babel. So they imagined a building which will go up to heaven. All right. And the story goes, Sagodi says, hey, these guys
are going to reach here.
Yeah, so because they're imagining, that means it will happen. So what do? Let's go and scatter their language so that they stop doing this thing they're imagining. So I'm very confident that one day, one time, there are going to be guys selling mambroti on the moon just because guys are imagining it. But me buying is another question.
Let me tell you, Emmanuel, this is the reason why you haven't touched real wealth. This is one of the reasons why we remain poor. This is part of the reason why we are not making money. Why hizi maswali zote ni za nini? Me, I'm giving you. This is a sweetheart of a deal.
So how are guys going to get there to check out the ambrotis?
Sasa this is a few almost long-term investment, man.
Shamba yangu ya Luandeti, I'm ngangana to build the toilet.
Forget about Luandeti, you guys. Luandeti is already, it's washed. It's washed.
You guys inanipeleka mbio.
Listen to this, you guys. Consider one of the moon's premier locations, the beautiful Lake of Dreams. On the northeast edge of the Sea of Serenity, features property close to scenic crater Daniel and marvelous vistas of massive crater Poseidon. You get me? I'm nabbing this, you guys.
You guys may know a guy who can sell these mbrotis. Shida ni afanyi kazi huku. But anazaziuza yake yote. Imagine driving alongside the sea of Dreams. The Sea of Dreams and just sipping on a piña colada. For only $35, you can have your own shamba upon the moon. What do you think? You guys mean as a huyo jamaa akianza kuuza je tuanze kubai because huyo mzee ni mnoma sana hizi maneno ya kuimagine.
Let me paint a picture.
Let me paint a picture. You're just sipping on a pina colada on the balcony of your house, right there beside the Sea of Dreams.
And when you're sitting outside your porch, you can be able to see Earth.
You'll be seeing guys on thicker roads struggling in the traffic. And imagine you're just sipping on a pina. Time I've seen him doing that, and this guy is Tukana, the guy, just throw out some weird comments, do takataka, pelekea Ruto, takataka and stuff, and the guy went ultra viral.
Yeah.
But we discussed that story yesterday. But how come this? How come we are like we are living in a land where we are supposed to be ruled by the rule of law, okay? And then we also have public servants who create the laws and help create structures for the law to be enforced. But these guys are the same guys who are breaking those laws, all right, by overlapping. Because most of the time when I see guys overlapping, sana, if it's not a mat, it is a government vehicle, it is a guy who has a siren, and the cops just, let these guys pass.
Yeah.
And these are now the guys who are supposed to be, like showing an example. It's like raising children. You're telling these children, wachana na bangi.
Yeah.
Bangi ni mbaya. And then immediately you tell them that, unapiga puff moja. Very serious. So how do you expect the citizenry to behave a certain way, and you're behaving opposite what you're telling us to behave? You want us to be a country of the rule of law, but wewe hautaki kuobey hizo law of that country. That is a shame.
That is sad, and that is the one thing I love about living on the moon. So when you go to the Lake of Dreams, these are places that they are not overlapping. When you go to and buy this. Let me tell you about the Sea of Serenity. Okay?
You gave me after kutanika your monologue moja ajab unanirudisha kwa the Sea of Serenity.
I had to take that one. I agree with you, Emmanuel. But now the thing is, let me ask you, what are laws? Ideally, what are laws? Laws are just rules that the people, the parliament has passed.
Not even a parliament, a people.
Yeah. Huh? So you've written down certain laws and you said thou shall not do this and this and this and this. Yeah. But how are those laws enforced?
See,
why don't you break laws?
Personally.
Yeah. Other than it's wrong, obviously, but there's also the threat of something.
Yeah, there's
there's jail time.
Yes. You might go to jail, you might be fined.
Yeah. So the law is only as enforceable as the assurance that when you break it, something will happen. Otherwise, it's just words on a paper.
I was hanging out with some chick the other day, and she was telling me about Dubai. She was saying one of the things that happens in Dubai is if you break certain rules, you're fined.
Yeah.
And the fine, like unapigwa na yo fine direct.
Inakatwa kwa account.
No, inakreditiwa to your account. So there's a way everything has been linked up. So everything has been linked up to there's an account which is specific to you. So if you're in a car overlapping and the car is registered to you, unapigwa tu fine, alafu your fine inakuja kwa account yako. If you are...
What do you mean inakuja?
See, you're sent to a message. You see the way you can get a message?
Mimi naona si unafaa ukatwe. What do you mean unalipwa fine? What do you mean inakuja kwa account?
Yeah, I'm explaining. So if, say, you're chewing gum on the train, because chewing gum on the train is illegal. So somebody sees you and says you're not supposed to be chewing on the train. So you have an ID. So your ID has your details and some sort of account linked to the gava. So your account, the fine is sent to that account of yours. So it keeps accumulating. So if you break 10 rules and one, I think aliniambia your chewing gum is like 100 dirham or something. So it accumulates. Like the more things you do, the more the fine accumulates. So the moment when you need, like for her, she was saying when you need to leave the country. All right. If you're, say, in the country illegally, that's another fine. So every day you're there illegally, unapigwa ki, tuseme tkani tao, ama tao tano. So every day, like it keeps accumulating. So I think that's one of the ways to keep a citizen in line.
Yeah.
Because if it's costing you money, if it's costing you money to not to spit, in public, if it's costing you money if it's costing you money if you spit, if you overlap, if you don't renew your license, you get.
Yeah.
I think hiyo chungu ya kutoa pesa apart from here kwenda jela, I think that's a very effective way, you guys, of controlling a population, because it really works.
Yeah.
So if you're Kenyan and you're in Dubs and you're working and you accumulate fines, you can't leave. You'll go to the airport, unaenda kucheck out, wanakuambia, hey bana, you have such and such an amount that you have to pay before departing. How do you want to pay? You have to look for the money and pay.
Yeah.
So I think our problem here is we don't have instant justice when we do a wrong thing, and then we also have the culture of bribing our way out of some of the problems that we have. But unless we reach a place where there's something that happens when you open the window and throw a plastic bottle out of a 3, you guys will just be third world, you guys, forever.
Yeah.
Tabidi tuhame tuende hapo sea of tranquility.
Let me tell you, me nasikia hizi mashida za earth. I'm really looking about venye nitatengeneza bangalow yangu safi.
Who's going to be enforcing the rules there? It actually could be a good idea if it's a nice... some people, that's the reason why the pilgrims moved. If you live in a society and you're not agreeing with how things are going, you say, hapa mazee maisha hii, you guys are not living the way you want. Kuna place inaitwa America, the Americas, to find a boat, then we move and go and build a society where we'll be able to live according to certain rules. Right? So if your sea of
Lake of Dreams
area kutakuwa na
Sea of Serenity imejaa, itakuwa na kelele
kama hapo itaweza, na watu watakuwa wanafanya hii maneno ya overlap, kuchuga in public, just being a public nuisance. You guys mean tanunua shamba.
Yeah, but now to speak about hiyo system yako, it's basically financial deterrence. So when it comes to that point, it will work to only people who can't afford to pay that fine. For example, this person, George Odwor, after doing all that, he went to court and he was fined. He was fined 100,000.
Yeah. No, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But now the people who break these rules have 100,000.
But not necessarily. You never know the shidas this guy pitied or not. No. You guys, who wants to give out a sock because of overlapping, bruh? Yeah, you guys.
If you have a billion,
how much money have you earned such that you can dish out random 100Ks cause of overlapping? So you'd rather just stay in the traffic.
All I'm saying is this system of fines and like financial deterrence only works for poor people. But now the people who are breaking this, people who truly enjoy impunity in Kenya, as you say, there are people who make these laws. They're the politicians. They are the MPs. Case in point. And these guys, as we know, they have the money. So it's not really a deterrence. Nile anaweza kupiga na nikulipe.
Yeah.
So it works only to a certain degree. But once you have... The reason people have impunity is they feel that nile utanipeleka wapi.
Yeah.
Like niko na pesa mingi sana, utanipeleka wapi. You take me to court, I'll drag out the case.
For 30 years.
Yani nile, that's the thing, is like they're not answerable to anyone. And part of the reason is, other than being connected, is they have money.
Which is a sad thing.
Yeah.
It's a very sad thing, Mazi. But I think money, it comes to an end at some point. You guys, tuachie watu sasa karma. Unajua hiyo yenye umefanya vitu alafu sasa unaachia mtu karma na laana. Cheki ndio umenifanyia hivyo, lakini nakuachia Mungu. You guys, yo bare ya Mungu itabidi come through, you guys, but maybe a bit faster.
You guys, utaki kuombea adui yako.
Namuombea mazee Karo
aishi siku mingi
mtandike hivi.
Ile siku unafanikiwa kuone kwa much.
Although it's a bit frustrating, especially if you frustrate justice. And then now the only thing that we could do is now kukuachia Mungu. It's frustrating.
Like but me I think mimi nataka nione ukipitia you guys size.
Haujaiona msee akipitia mwenye alikuwa na frustrate us?
Not every time.
Okay, not every time, but sometimes.
Most of the time they just live. In fact, they thrive.
Some of them. Some, I don't know what kamote they use to keep prospering. But some, I think, they run out of funds. Alafu wanaanza kupitia yao yote.
They don't believe in that story of sijui ni kuachie Mungu ama nini. There are a lot of bad people living good lives here.
You guy in a disease fulani, you guy on one of the gluteus maximus. Cheki, bwana daktari, nasikia uchungu fulani kwa hii ya left, hii gluteus. Na I think ni venye nilikuwa corrupt. I was corrupt in 92. Na kuna mtu aliniambia, alikuwa anaongea kwa radio. Aliniambia niache maneno ya corruption. Na mimi nika insist. Sasa wana siwezi kaa vizuri.
They live longer maze.
No, I think so. Me think karma works, you guys. In my years on planet Earth, which are many, I've seen guys, you guys chomoka, you guys from the sky and down to the earth, you guys. No. Not all of them as I'd like to, but majority. You guys, they one way or another. Hey, you guys, you can't escape.
I know you're just telling this to yourself because that's it forms a basis of the reality of.
It's only that unajua say tuko kwa radio. I can't start mentioning names.
Yeah. So there are people you want to see.
No, as in I can't start mentioning names.
Oh, people you've seen.
Alikuwa anapitia alafu sasa sahi alikuwa fiti alafu sahi
waliobobea.
Bana kuna waliobobea wengi sana huwa pitia you guy. You guys, they are right gluteus mazee haiezi. Unajua venye unaweza nini kaza? Hauwezi kaza. Can you imagine living a life huwezi kaza? Cheki bwana daktari siwezi kaza. Hata ukiwatch mapena you guys, you're just watching for.
Yeah.
You guys, you cannot kaza you guys. But as you said, and even look at this story that we are discussing. See, kama happened hapo instant. Umse alikuwa anafikia huyu jamaa ana record 2 videos, just another random citizen.
Yeah.
Kumbe it's you guy one CNN guy. You guy.
And after all that fuss, 100K?
100K na nasikia polisi wamempea
onyo like that?
Kali sana. Like, akipatikana akiwa tena atajua you guys.
I'm sure he overlapped maze on his way out of court. I don't think this money, I don't think like at fines and all this are a good deterrent.
Yeah.
I think we should go the China way, you guys.
You guys, my text says, trust me guys, karma actually works. Gypsy Corner is a new member of this wind down gang. Ameongea sana hapa. Amesema chewing gum is rude anyway. Respect people's laws when abroad. But then how come Kenyans specifically, how come when we go abroad we obey the law? Lakini tukirudi nyumbani tunaanza kutapa.
It's because we don't respect our own country.
You see those things that you're talking about, fines. What did you call it? Financial deterrence?
Yeah.
Like when guys land in another country, they suddenly, you guys tupi makaratasi chini, you guys, you're not chewing gum on the train. And then now when you come back immediately, you backslide to your old habits.
Yeah. Me, I'll always go back to the point of I feel like we don't really respect this country. We really don't. Because why would you do those things in a place that you need? It's like you have a dirty house, your house vyombo hazijaoshwa, and then you go to your friend's place, like someone when unajua kona OCD, someone who takes care of their house. You see, like the way people treat you according to the way you treat yourself. That's the way I feel like the thing that is going on now with our country. We really don't angalia tao. Someone can just go and pee on a wall. Kwanza anaendea ile yenye imeandikwa usikojoe hapa.
I love an unleash one of the most serious torrents.
Yeah.
But mbona ukipita hiyo sign ya usikojoe hapo ndio unasikia kojoa?
I don't know.
Have you ever thought about that stuff? Like you see it imeandikwa. That is when maze you really get pressed. Check it. Ndio sitaki kukojoa hapo. But sasa venye imeandikwa. There's someone who told me the brain cannot see the word not. Like unaona usikojoe Like it can't see that OC, but it just
can't see the negative.
Yeah, it just is the kojo hapa, and you end up doing that. So it's interesting, Mazi. So Bash, in other news, you've been very skeptical about that particular conversation, but down in the country of Madagascar, Bashir, kumekuwa na maandamano very serious. Kuna huyu jamaa anaitwa President Rajoelina, who's dissolved parliament as at now. This report is on the RGK website. So this guy announced via Facebook that he has consulted the leaders of the country, and they've decided to dissolve parliament. The youth are really protesting in that area, and it's interesting because I remember when this guy got into power, he was hyped as a young, nice leader because I think he used to be a DJ, right? You remember? You don't remember? You guys, it's beyond your nini. It's beyond your recent memory.
No, me I know about countries that are in mainland Africa.
Oh, okay. You don't consider Madagascar part of...
It is, but wako in the ocean.
Yeah.
What I know about Madagascar is King Julian.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And the other Pumba.
You guy. Penguins. Then
Pumba ilikuwa movie gani?
Pumba is another... You don't know about... what is it called? It's 3 penguins, and then there's now King Julian, and then there's another...
See, Pumba?
Not Pumba.
The Warthog.
A different cartoon.
Yeah. The Warthog.
This is the one which they're like detectives.
I remember the penguins. The penguins of there's even a movie called Penguins of Madagascar. But I wonder if Pumba Maze was part of that nini. Because alikuwa naimba hiyo imba. Don't worry. Okay, nitaimba siku nyingine. So these guys are protesting, they're on the streets, and it's interesting, the youth seem to be behaving the same way all over the planet. I don't know what's up with you guys. Maybe you can explain. There's Madagascar. There is Nepal, where there was a huge revolution. There was also right here in Kenya, where the youth were on the streets. What do you think is the difference between you guys and what do you think the difference between you guys and, say, our other generations?
So you guys are the problem.
In what regard?
So you guys are the people in power.
No, us, we're not. The guys older than me are the people in power right now.
My generation,
my generation is creeping in right now. I'm talking about myself.
Okay.
Like my generation is people like Kina Jalas, some of these young Kina KJ.
Yeah.
Those are like the younger. They're a step lower, but they're not there yet. But there's the president, there are people like Kalonzo, Rao. Like those are guys who were there even when my dad was still around.
Yeah.
So I don't think you'd say we are the ones in power. We're not in power yet. We are the younger, we're the older millennials, but we're not there. We're not there yet properly.
I think when you talk about, let's say, Gen Zs and all that, I think we just can't take a lot of stuff. Like I feel like your generation was very quiet and you accepted things the way they were, and I'm not saying this because I don't even feel like I have that Gen Z spirit, but I do meet a lot of them even in the workplace. Like you can see there's some level of siwezi kaa chini na niambiwe tu vitu yani. There's just that level of freedom fighting that is almost innate into their nature. Like that is who they are. Like hawezi kubali kuona injustice ikiendelea na akai chini. So I don't know if I can categorize you guys, but I feel like you guys were very complacent during all this time. Like you guys never stood up and were like, you know what, this is enough mazejo. Hawa say wamezidi. Like you guys were, and even when you look even into the workplace, millennials like ni wale wase tuvumilie, unajua no boss amesema wacha tuvumilie, najua ni 9 to 5 but wacha tu ni tume email. Like you guys I don't know how you, there's just some romanticism you had with struggle. I think weird way.
I think just to explain it, it's our upbringing, like the way we were trained. Number one, we were trained. I remember there used to be some buses kitambo called KBS. So KBS, ikipita, and you enter and you're a younger person, even in just regular mathris, if you're younger, you stand up. Nowadays there's this thing of nimelipia kiti ya mtoto. You get, but us guys, whether umelipiwa ama umefanyiwa nini, when an older person comes through, you stand. So, and then all older people were considered wise. You get, like you're considered to know, like unajua. So because unajua utasema na mimi nitafanya. You get? So at the back of your mind, yes, you know, I shouldn't be doing this because this is a dumb idea, but huyu mtu mkubwa ameniambia. And then there's also the trickle down of the community discipline thing, where you could be disciplined by your aunt. If a neighbor finds you doing something stupid, unaweza vunjwa you guy any time. So that was drilled in us.
Yeah.
And then, like I've told you this story before, there was a friend of mine who were discussing something in primary school, and the teacher said something clearly wrong, and then this student said, "You are lying." Mr. Wanyama. Mr. Wanyama akamwambia, I will show you what my name suggests. You guy akaanza kumvunja you guy, like you guy
left
yeah, but that guy alikuwa anaitwa Okari, you guys. So Okari mazee akapokea mabare cheki PTTT.
Yeah.
So if the teacher says something wrong, wewe umeona Okari akifanywa mambo.
Yeah.
You guy utaongea you guy. And that thing is a problem because I was watching this aircraft investigation where they have a similar setup in their society where the older person is the person who knows, then the younger person hajui, he should do what the older person is doing. So they were flying a plane. This guy the captain is doing a wrong thing, but this FO can't tell him because huyu si ni mkubwa. So they ended up crashing you guy and getting the sweet bye and the sweet luere.
I think so walifika huko heaven akamwambia si nilikuwa nimekuambia.
Si alimvunja after mwambia. So you guys unasikia? So I think that has something to do with our said you know, the way you're saying, you know, we see something but we don't say something because you know we are brought in that school of thought of, you know, you have to, like,
you're not questioning.
But there are people who still used to, they're always rebels.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I mean, like you guys, I don't know if you guys or the people who are, I think this clip of people who are in that UN demonstration against MO1. From the stories I hear from MO1 and you guys, I can't imagine you guys going against him.
Yeah, and
but there were guys who are like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Kina Orengo always.
So I'm not saying at Nini, but I feel like for us now it's become like everyone is like that. You know, and actually just to give you guys credit, most Gen Zs are actually raised by you guys. So shout out to you guys, you didn't propagate that. I feel like Nini pia mlipata like a lesser version of that type of oppressive system enye there's watu tu wenye wako in power, the older people are the only people who get to speak. You're not supposed to question everything because now the Gen Zs are being raised by, I think, millennials, and you know, you're giving the chance to ask questions and, you know, just to have discourse.
Yeah, I think you guys, you know hiyo kitu ya kuvunjwa ilianza kuwa very unpopular. I don't think guys are even vunjwed in schools anymore. It's
illegal.
Corporal punishment, it's called. Yeah, so I think you guys are more like the guys I used to see on TV. Because I used to see white kids on TV talking to their parents in a certain way. I'm like, yo, and me, my mother, jibu her like that. Slippers. So just slippers ilikuwa inatokanga wapi? It was like a Western movie. Unasikia tu cha-cha-cha. Again, the slippers is on your face.
Hizo slippers ilikuwa hit seeking.
Yeah.
I don't know the aim. The aim ilikuanga, yani mimi sijai kumbuka madhangu akimiss.
Yeah, you guys. I think they used to practice.
Alikuwa na linga mbele. Unajua alikuwa amefanya ma calculations, ameongeza hadi ni air resistance. Alafu curve because of ni centrifugal force. So anajua hii fala itakimbia huku mbele.
Man.
So amelinga slippers hapo. Unajipata tu hapo.
Bwana ina collide na wewe.
I think we should study maze. Kwani walikuwa wanaenda nini? Mother's aim.
I think they used to stay up later in the night
in practice.
On sleeper throwing and stick selection. It used to be so sad that you'd go select your own stick.
Yeah. That was psychological torture.
Take it, go and bring a stick. You guys must say you're off on the streets looking for a stick that is going to be used to assault you guy in the behind. But I think there was an advantage to that. I think that level of, you know, you're a bit, you know, you think a little before acting. I think it helps in certain regard. I think we need some people like that in society.
Yeah. If
everyone in society is wild, a wild card, you know, I don't think... I think you'd clash faster Like I think you need, even in a relationship of two people, when you're arguing, there's one person who should go down, oh my god, apande. Alafu next time you flip it.
Yeah.
But if both of you are hotheads, mazeni evil. Yeah.
But okay, I get that. But now in this context of, we are seeing what is going on is wrong. And we really don't want it to go on. There's just a collective belief in what is right. And I feel like that is one thing also we share. Like this is wrong and we can see clearly it's wrong. And no matter what you tell me, I know deep down in my heart, this is wrong. And I cannot stand while you continue doing this wrong thing, no matter what you... That's why politicians are one of the best. They are really good. For you to be a good politician, you need to be an excellent liar. Like you need to be able to craft narratives and stories in a very expert way. So someone can be catching you and you're doing evidence kwa karatasi, but you convince them that the other person or the other tribe has something to do with there's always just a lot of blame shifting, and it's so sad when you see people wakiingia hiyo box most of the time,
falling for that stuff. George Moshero says, loving the show, guys. Gypsy Corner is very excited. I think I'll start from the top of his comments. Gypsy Corner says, I'm glad I stumbled through the channel in the morning. We have legend CT and Boovy. Then now you youngsters are great. Kudos.
You
guys, tumepewa compliment. What is wrong with you? Why are you sounding short? You guys, tumeambiwa hapa. Now you youngsters are great. Kudos. Great job, you guys. Yeah. So cheers, Gypsy Corner. Thank you for that take. Imeni touch pale.
Yeah, and again, it's always about the older generation taking what is ours in real time.
My take is back in the building. It says if it doesn't apply to Maju Peke, I think it's talking about obeying rules. You go to Karen and suddenly you'll notice the same guys who behave differently now conform to that area. I think you're right. Ukienda Karen, you can't start making noises.
Yeah.
You can't start saying, "We tokeni nje." I think you'll be picked up. You
just know you're not from around here.
You'll be like, hey, who's that person making noise in this very quiet area?
Yeah.
So you're right, and thank you for that, my take. Gypsy Corner is back. It says, our politicians don't respect our beautiful country. Why should it be different from the public? And that is true. Because you see, politicians are drawn out from the public. So I think if you randomly stretch your hand... When I was growing up, Uko in Sarit Center, there was this machine which had a claw. It had 3 prongs on the claw, all right? So hapo chini kuna madol, different types of dolls, tigers, like a bear. So you put in a 20 bob, and then that claw goes down, then it picks one of those dolls, and then it ignores it, and then it throws it to the side. Most of the time, it never used to grab them. Ni pata potea. So unaangalia, mazee imehata.
Ulianza kununua crypto ukiwa mtoto.
I never ever got a
ukigongwa ever since.
So those guys were harvesting our 20 bobs, you guys.
They seem to be falling for this knee. That's when niko shanga utaki shamba mans. Leo shamba ya munu utaki aje.
Nimepepeto yangu yote. So this game was, if you take that claw and grab an average Kenyan and chukua him na umweke you guy kwa gava, most likely you guy atakuwa mad corrupt. You naweza sema with my chest. Very, you guy, where will you find someone, you guy, who will ingia that place and, stick? Because that sticking means you're going against the grain of everyone around you. There's even pressure, you guys, to become corrupt and to do crazy stuff. So I don't know, as this guy is saying, these guys are behaving weirdly because they're pulled from us guys. So the problem, I guess, is on the surface level, bruh.
Yeah, I think maybe it's an identity thing. I remember there was a time, I don't know if it was popular enough, but there was this saying of how corruption is in our DNA as Kenyans. And that's what I was saying, like
Kimwaga damu inasema
yeah. Like we try to look at all these people on the higher positions of society and being like, those guys are corrupt. But when you go even down to the lowest point of
the strata,
Kenyan,
the lowest strata,
you get imambo ya madil, na sijui ati mahongo na
cutting corners.
Yeah, and we actually enjoy the benefits of easy small corruption because you get caught in a very huge mistake.
I think guys,
but because umeongea na afande mkaelewana, now you don't have to appear in court. So we like enjoying this to small I'll call them benefits, because now you don't have to pay the actual price of your mistake. But then we look up and we start pointing at these other people as if we are not doing the same thing.
Yeah, man. So we need an overhaul, you guys, of our characters. My take 2.0 is saying, no, Emmanuel, everyone has to fight their corners, otherwise manipulation starts. I think I've lost the train of thought in that regard. DJ Stitchy is in the building, and some politicians, just like art, are a reflection of our true values. You get what's very good takes. Like, do you think it's something to do with the environment, home ownership? You are living in a nice suburb. Do you think hiyo ndio inafanya watu wa Kite waseme vitu kali kali? Wewe unaonaje wewe?
Mimi sijui watu wa Kite. Sio ndio naishi huko. Mimi niulize watu.
Si DJ Stitchy you guy?
Yeah, sasa si ndio.
Apart from DJ Stitchy, Mimi. You get? You already have a sample size.
No, the fact that you can name all the people with good takes in Kitengela is if you can count them enyewe, it means there are not so many.
No, but we don't.
Mimi nikianza ku name the people from my hood when you wanapiga hot takes.
Keep Karen.
Z.
Okay, wapi hapa?
Hapa tu ni Ngong Road.
You guys, Ngong Road is your hood.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, you've moved on up in life. You guys, Mungu ameweka battery kwa torch yako. Yeah. So, shout out to everyone who's sending in comments. Bashir, let's move on the story from a story. I'm a politician. Tuachie kina Mongala wa ngangane na hii subject. Things are thick huko in the area of watu wa kuuza hii dawa ya kulevya. Hatari. Inaitwa bangi. So hii maneno ya bangi ni kama inaingia matopeni. Because I've come across 3 reports. Leo tu nikusomea one by one. So number 1, there's a notorious drug peddler arrested in Umoja, Nairobi. 20 kilos of bang, and listen to this, 3,000 rolls recovered. All right. Same day, same report. 2 suspects arrested in Meru after police seized 25 kilos of bang from PSV headed to Maua. Hii ilikuwa inaenda Maua. Police arrest suspects, recover bang worth 2 million in Timboroa, you guy. You guy, what's
ilikuwa inaenda LD ama Timboroa si ndio wetu.
I thought inafaa kushuka kutoka Timboroa.
I don't know the trade routes. But me, I have a question, Emmanuel. Every time I see these posts, even the DCI, whenever they catch these people, they'll make sure they put the street value of that particular consignment. For example, the one you've read heading to Timboroa, it was worth 2 million.
2 million. Alafu kuna jamaa hapa anakaa very sad hapa kwa hiyo picha.
Kuna kigari apewe moja. Imtulize.
Cheki bro. Uko na stress. Fanya hivi. We, afande.
Mpe moja avute.
Toa exhibit moja hapo, huyu jamaa anapitia sana mno.
But my question is, how do they know the street value of these things? Because from the knowledge that I have is there are different strains of this thing. And different strains come with different street value.
From research, eh?
No,
research?
From what I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Street
knowledge to ile mtaani. So do these DCI guys or these police people have a special branch for testing? Like they have someone wanampea moja wanamwambia tuambie kama hii ni foreign. Do they have a corporal of testing the value? Because they are very fast. They nab this bang at 11. By 11:30 they know the street value.
Who dictates the value? So you can just see it and you use
sometimes
you use the black market rates.
Yeah, but
you say this thing is 25 kilos, multiply, I don't know what the black market rate is, multiply by that black market rate.
I don't disagree with that.
Alafu una get the price.
But I'm telling you, there are different types and each type has its own street value. So do they have someone to know which type this is?
I think labda suspect anamwambia hii ni gani.
Do you think wanampea
vute kwa bare moja ajab. Cheki ropa, cheki hii Hii ni foreign.
Hii ni Ethiopian.
So let me ask you, there was a guy who was trending, alikuwa anajiita Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
Foreign according to street stories. Foreign ni nini?
Foreign, I think, is the highest form of that particular maua.
So meaning, is it from another country?
Generally, I think so. Yeah, that's why it's called a foreign. It's not from here. It's like an import. Yeah. So that is the highest. That is the highest, and then
grade.
Now the grade, and then now there's these other ones which are now locally grown, I guess. So the foreign is actually imported.
Oh, for really?
Yeah. That's why it's called a foreign.
But look, this is a lot of weed.
Yeah.
All right, like look at these 3 reports: 20 kilos, 3,000 rolls recovered. Okay, because kuna hizo za makilo. I'm looking at the photograph. They are the packaged things. Alafu sasa kuna hizo blunt. Hizo like a stick. Okay, 3,000 rolls. Okay, these other one ni 2 hizo zinakaa ni jogo. All right, okay. Zinakaa like a packet of unga.
Okay.
They've been packaged like that.
Yeah.
Hii mwingine ya Timboroa wameweka tu inakaa miti. So my Kenya inanishangaza ni this is a lot of marijuana. Where is it going? Because you see, the fact that it exists in these quantities means it's going to a specific destination. Meaning, if you have 3,000 rolls, there are 3,000 people somewhere waiting for supply.
And it can be
meaning many people are consuming this stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people consume it. Yeah, there's a clear demand.
Yeah.
As you see every day.
Where is
First of all, the risk.
First
of all, the risk. Because being caught with this stuff, it can really put you in some trouble.
Yeah, there's not a day,
especially if you are. I mean, if you're caught indulging in it, that's it. It has like a lighter sentence.
Yeah, if you're caught selling.
Now that is distribution. That carries a hefty. So for you to sit down and be like, listen, man, like I know what I'm carrying here can land me in jail for this amount of years.
Kindukulu.
But you know what? I'd take the risk. Like I'm sure that guy who's stressed right now, asubuhi mazee alikuwa anajua by jioni you guy atakuwa ameingiza kitu kwa mbosho. Because now there's already a buyer.
I think the story about in the States, I think they've changed the laws.
They've decriminalized.
In many places, right?
Yeah.
Not everywhere, but in some places.
It's not legal, but it's been decriminalized.
But now many people found themselves in the coolers because of the criminal nature of the thing. So it's a bit of a strange situation because mtu amekaa jela 20 years and all of a sudden
maybe one of these days we should bring someone who is an advocate.
They break it down. We hang out with Bashir Halaiki in studio. My name is Manuel Kisingani. Shout out to everyone who's been listening to us on YouTube. We're gonna move from YouTube back to X, but we thank you for joining us there. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
It's 9 o'clock.